and done. 2 hours, 18 minutes is a bit long, but I did muck around, run some fairly hilly bits, get lost, attacked by seagulls. Just another run in West Auckland, really.
Good afternoon everyone, it's Gareth Westy Runner here giving you an update on week 2 of marathon training. It's 4 PM on Sunday afternoon. Hopefully Ian Evans, who I filmed a few months ago doing the Riverhead Relapse, Big's Backyard Ultra World Championship in Riverhead, he is hopefully just coming in to finish the Revenant, which for non-New Zealand trail runners is a little bit like the New Zealand equivalent of the Barkley Marathons. So good luck, Ian. I really hope to finish up recording this and then go down and see you've completed it. I had a good second week of marathon training. I managed to hit all of my sessions, and that's despite actually starting back at work this week, which can always add a little bit of life stress that makes just that training a little bit harder.
As you can see, it's not been a bad week. I've managed to make it to 100 kilometres. I've changed my profile from miles to kilometres because being based in New Zealand, that's what people are used to. Throughout the week, it's very similar in structure to last week. Bit of aerobic running at the start, some lactate thresholds on the Tuesday, strides on the Wednesday, which we'll talk in detail more about later, VO2 max intervals on the Thursday, but 6 this time rather than 4 last week. Bit of a tempo run on Saturday, and today I went on a bit of an aerobic run for a couple of hours. So overall, pretty solid week. Very, very happy with that.
As we've seen, it's been a really, really good week of training. Key session today to talk about is strides.
So a typical stride session for me, like I've done on the Wednesday here, is I'll do something like an hour to an hour and a quarter of fairly aerobic work. So if I was to run at an aerobic pace, I'd be able to say an entire sentence without needing to pause or catch my breath. That's a pretty good indicator of that. And in this case, I've done, let's have a look, something like 14 or 15 kilometres to get to the point where I'll be able to do that. And then you see this section here where on the screen we can see that I'm running back and forth in a very small area and the pace goes up and down quite markedly. These are the actual strides. And a stride is simply a short distance where you go from standing still through a slow jog, you accelerate rapidly up to an almost all-out sprint, and then you jog back to the starting place, rinse and repeat. And in a typical session you might do 4 or 5 strides, anything up to maybe 8, 10 or even 12 strides. The whole purpose of them is not to really build aerobic capacity. It's to enable you to increase your leg turnover, it's to enable you to increase your form, and it also helps you get used to doing speed work. Now, it's not speed work in the same way that VO2 max intervals are, but on the other hand, it's definitely a really, really good way to get into those things and will give you a bit of a head start when later on in your marathon training session after your base build, you actually start to get into actually doing proper speed work like VO2 max or lactate threshold intervals. Okay, so that's about 15k done. Nice and easy pace, maybe a little bit faster than 5 minutes a kilometre. And now it's time for some strides. I'm going to do 10 strides, about 80 metres. So gradual acceleration to almost fill up all that sprint. And then jog back, nice and easy. 10 reps, comes to just about a mile. So let's get on with it before it starts to rain. One. One hour, 15 minutes of aerobic running done, and then 10 strides, plus a bit of faffing for filming, for honest. That's a good session, and the strides are, like I say, it's to improve your stride length, improve your form, and just get to feel a bit more comfortable at that kind of high pace. It's a really good way to start off quality work, even though it's not really quality work like, say, VO2 max intervals are, but it's a good workout. Cheers guys, have a good one.